We're trying to win trophies. Yes, we are trying to win trophies, but at what expense? We cannot completely give a blackout to our academy players and say we are pursuing trophies. As we pursue trophies, we must bring along our academy. When will kids of this club know that if you're good enough, you can play for Arsenal Football Club? Hey, yo, how you doing? This is your man, Fojigana, back again. Thank you, Arsenal fans out there, for the massive love you're showing this channel. We've done more than 300 subscribers in the last 1 week alone, and we are on course to hitting 1,000 subscribers in the next 1 week or so. Man, I'm so grateful. If you're new to this channel and you'd like to support us to grow bigger and better so we can bring you more entertaining Arsenal news, please take a moment to subscribe and like and comment on our videos so we can grow this channel together. Now, academy players coming through is one of the lifeblood of a club, any club. There's a special bond between the fans and the player. At other clubs in the Premier League, you can see so many youngsters coming through and actually playing for the first team, and the fans love them. What about Arsenal Football Club? When Arteta came to the club back in 2019, he found 2 academy players who were already promoted to the first team by his predecessor, Unai Emery, who was actually better at giving youth a chance, in my assessment. Unai Emery had brought through Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe. They were playing in the first team, and these 2 players worked their socks off when Arteta was facing the most difficult spell in his early Arsenal career, when fans were saying Arteta must go. These players produced results game after game, and we overcame that spell of bad results and went on to win the FA Cup final. Arteta should be thankful to the youngsters of this club for the fact that he has a job right now. There has not been a single academy player who has come through and had a consistent run in the first team. We've had the likes of Nwaneri, who Arteta gave a chance when he was like 15 years or something days old. After that, how many times has Nwaneri played for Arsenal Football Club? We've seen him come on away at West Ham in the closing stages of the game when we were winning 6-0. He barely had a moment to touch the ball. And those are the kind of appearances this manager has been giving our players, token appearances, nothing solid. Young players need a consistent run of games in the team for them to show you what they're capable of doing. That's what Saka got. He was given a consistent run of games, and that's what Smith-Rowe got as well. And this week actually has been one of the best illustrations of what happens when you don't give your youngsters a chance. We have a kid right now, one of the brightest youngsters to have come through our academy in recent years, in the name of Chido Obi-Martins. This kid is an astonishing talent. One of those generational kids who comes through the academy once in like 10 years. That's how highly he's being rated. He has been scoring goals for fun. He's a goal-scoring monster. He hit 10 goals against Liverpool in one youth match. And then to show that that was not a fluke, he went on to hit 7 goals against Norwich in another match again. This kid hits double, triple hat-tricks for fun. And he has earned rave reviews from pundits, from fans. Everyone's been talking about him. He's a proper monster of a striker. At 16, he's 6'2", very tall for his age, and he's being touted to be one of the brightest strikers to have come from the academy system. Of course, we know Arsenal's produced the likes of Fuller and Balogun in recent years. Nketiah, of course, is from our academy. Biereth. Those are some of the strikers that have come through. But this kid is different. Not many kids score that many goals at that age level. He seems to be a natural at goal scoring. And now we hear this week that Bayern Munich are trying to pull a Serge Gnabry on us again by getting this player from right under our noses. A player who many had thought was going to get a chance even to play for the first team as early as this season. And for those close to the kid, one of the reasons he's giving for wanting to leave Arsenal Football Club is that he can see a better pathway to first team football at Bayern Munich than at Arsenal. Now that is very telling because Bayern Munich are not a small club. They're a big European club, just like Arsenal. It appears that this kid believes that he has a better chance of playing in the first team football sooner under Vincent Kompany, who's just taken over at Bayern Munich, than under Mikel Arteta. Now that right there is the problem, because under this manager, he has created an impression, either wrongly or rightly, that he does not give a chance to our youngsters. A case in point is when we had this dead rubber Champions League game away at PSV last season in December. Now, this was a game where we'd already confirmed our first position in that group stage. There was nothing to play for. We only had to play the game and get it done. He carried a few youngsters alongside the main team. And in the second half, he had an opportunity to bring them on as substitutes. The academy players on the bench, the likes of Nwaneri, were on the bench waiting to be brought on, but none of them came on. Do you know what that does to a youngster? He has come travel away. His family knows he's going to play in the Champions League. His girlfriend probably, his mates, they're all waiting to see him playing on his big night on a Champions League debut when he's still a teenager. And then he doesn't get the opportunity. We went on to draw that game 1-1. And even the press picked on Arteta. They told him, look, Why didn't you play the youngsters? This was a dead rubber pretty much. You could have gotten away with playing the youngsters. He said, oh, this was a game where we didn't want to expose the youngsters to these conditions because these guys have not lost a game at home for a long time, so we needed to play our best players. Wow. I thought that was absolutely embarrassing because as a manager, your responsibility is not just to make the first team happy. Your responsibility is also to give players who are coming through from the academy an opportunity to develop and to become better and better and to have that experience playing in the first team. These kids don't get motivated at all. And the bigger thing there is the signal you're sending to the rest of the other kids in the academy. When they see that these players who are better prospects than us are barely getting game time in the first team, it means this manager does not give young players a chance. These kids talk to each other. They can see what's happening. They can see what happened to a striker like Folarin Balogun, a kid we had in our academy who grew up an Arsenal fan. And now at some point, we sent him on loan. He tore it out there. He was coming back to the club, hoping he would get a chance. But we sold him on a permanent. Of course, that turned out to be a good sale for Arsenal. But it's about the signaling. It's about what you tell other academy players behind this player. Is there a genuine opportunity for me to play in the first team for Arsenal Football Club if I stay at this club? That is the question for most of these kids. That's what they ask themselves. I know most people say that this manager can't play youngsters because he has to catch up with Manchester City. We are competing against City, so we don't have any place where we can play youngsters in our first team. I'm not saying that we play youngsters in the Premier League big matches or in the Champions League, but we also have the FA Cup. We have the Carling Cup. We have dead rubber games in the Champions League. We have away matches or home matches in the Premier League when we are 3-4-0 up. We are 4-0 up in the 60th minute. Why don't we bring youngsters and give them an opportunity for them to play and showcase their skills and to mature into the game? Look at Pep Guardiola. We are trying to compete against Manchester City. This manager has given 24 young players from the academy their debuts since he joined Manchester City Football Club. Some of them have gone on to be big players for their club, like Phil Foden. And some of them have been sold out, like Cole Palmer and Romeo Lavia, who have gone to other clubs, and the likes of Brahim Diaz, who's gone to Real Madrid. So this manager has actually brought through a lot of revenue through playing young players. And that's what happens. When you play young players, you can either develop them for your first team, or you can grow them in a way that they become more valuable in the market, and then you're able to get a lot of money on them in the transfer market, and then maybe change them over for other better players that maybe you might be targeting. At Manchester United, we have kids like Kobbie Mainoo coming through. Kobbie Mainoo is a local kid coming from the academy. He has shown that he's got the talent. What have they done? They have given him a consistent run of games this season. And look what they're having. They're having a monster of a performer. He's now going to the Euros with England. That brings so much pride to a club and the fans when you see young players coming through who can be world beaters. And it's not for lack of talents in our academy. This manager has found a lot of players who are being touted under his watch to be the next big thing. Players like Charlie Patino, where is he right now? He was flogged away on loan, went to Blackpool, Swansea, is now back at the club. Is he going to play for Arsenal Football Club next season? Nobody knows. Probably he's going to be sold. But was he ever given a chance for him to show what he can do for this club? It's about giving the players a chance to show us what they can do. If a player is given a run of games and he's still not performing, then well and good, you can flog him. Right now we have this youngster Ethan Nwaneri. Everyone says he's a rare talent. Rave reviews about him. What has Arteta done to make sure that this kid gets all the opportunity he needs to develop his talent and to become a future star for Arsenal Football Club? Yes, he gave him his debut, but is that enough? Arsenal have tied him down to a scholarship contract, but other clubs are sniffing around. At least give him an indication that once you turn 17, we're going to give you a good contract, that is commensurate to the value that you bring to this club. Other players who are coming from the academy. We've got the likes of Amario Cozier-Duberry, a kid now who's been touted to be the next Saga, plays on that right wing, very good dribble of the ball, can shoot with his left foot, very clinical in the way he does his shooting. Players like Myles, Lewis-Skelly, a midfielder who can play as a defensive midfielder, as an attacking midfielder, can also play as a left back. Very talented all round. He's got this ball carrying ability. He's able to run past players at high pace. He's a proper box-to-box midfielder. He can be a big talent for us. Has he been given a run of games? We've not seen that happen. These kids can see what's happening. They're in and around the first team. They get to play in the training sessions with the first team. They go for preseason tours. Like now they'll go to the American preseason tour in the summer with the first team. They're also going to appear in match day squads. But playing consistently, that run of games for Arsenal Football Club, we've not seen any of them getting that. And it's not that they're more talented than other players who are the age. They look at clubs like Barcelona. They see the likes of Lamine Yamal, 17 years old, a young talented footballer who has been given an opportunity. Now he's playing in the first team and is even benching, big players because he is good enough. When will kids of this club know that if you're good enough, you can play for Arsenal Football Club. That should be the message that goes down to all ranks of the academy, that if you got the talent, if you apply yourself, if you work hard enough, you can play in the first team at Arsenal Football Club. Anything short of that means that we'll continue to hemorrhage our best and brightest talents. I hope Arsenal manage to keep this kid, Chido Obi-Martins. The kid is 16 years, so we know, yes, he cannot sign a professional contract until he's 17. But right now, Arsenal have offered him a scholarship contract, which is what they can actually offer him at the moment. And at the moment, he has not signed it. What he is being offered by Bayern Munich is reportedly up to 30,000 a week. That is huge, of course. And Arsenal may be strained to match that. But what I'll say is this. This is more symbolic than looking at the money. It's not about the money. It's about the symbolism of this. Do anything you can to give the kid that contract. Keep him at Arsenal Football Club. And I hope this will be a learning point for Arteta, so that come next season, we see the likes of Nwaneri being given a run of games in the first team. The likes of Amario Cozier-Duberry, Lewis-Skelly, and Chido Obi-Martins. Let's have at least 3 youngsters or 4 youngsters getting that consistent run of games in the side. I mean, you say we're trying to win trophies. Yes, we are trying to win trophies, but at what expense? We cannot completely give a blackout to our academy players and say we are pursuing trophies. As we pursue trophies, we must bring along our academy, so the players can see that Arsenal is trying to win trophies and can also go up, step up, and be part of that quest to win trophies. So big one to Arteta. Let's see changes next season. Let's see the likes of Nwaneri playing more football for Arsenal Football Club. Let's see Amario Cozier-Duberry. Let's see Lewis-Skelly playing more. Let's see this kid, Chido Obi-Martins, if he stays, playing more football for Arsenal Football Club, so that we can grow our talent and send a good signal to our academy, that if you are good, if you're good enough, you can play for this club. So thanks for listening. Please, if you're new, take a moment to like, subscribe, and comment so we can grow this channel together. Peace. See you later. Bye-bye.